This is so cool. What a great opportunity to get to chat with both of you. I want to start right off and say that the movie itself was absolutely amazing. Like, I truly loved it. I wanted to win all the awards. You were phenomenal. I had a chance in 2012. I actually got to meet Aretha Franklin on a red carpet, and I asked her at that time about a movie. And in classic Aretha style, she launched into like a 3-minute response and about how she had it all in her head and it was working on what she was working with different people on a script, and it had to start with her as a child in a church at her dad's church. And so when I saw that scene in your movie, it was really like, this is the movie that Aretha wanted of herself. So I wanted you to comment on that, and
I just
also
got chilled.
I know. I know how that
and
feels.
I have the clip too. I'm going to play it as part of this. But yeah, talk about that, and also just talk about the long road to get this movie made.
Sorry, that really took me by surprise. I didn't know that. When the studio talked to me early on about my ideas, I actually pitched the idea that the film should start in the church and end in the church, and then it should go from childhood to her early 30s, because I thought that was when you would really understand who she is and how she became the Queen of Soul. Sure. So I did not know that, so I'm actually kind of stunned, because when doing the research, learning about her, the church and gospel music was so essential to who she was as an artist, and so that's why it seemed like obvious.
I've kept that with me for 9 years,
Wow.
thinking like whenever this movie comes out, if it doesn't start like that, I'm going to wonder what happened along the way. So that's super great. Now, Jennifer, she handpicked you to play this role. You absolutely knocked it out of the park, and I truly mean that. I wanted to ask a question about the idea of singing as Aretha. It must be a challenge to just sing, but like when you're trying to sing as Aretha, are you doing anything? How did you prepare to sing as Aretha and not just yourself?
Wow, that was the biggest challenge. I still sit with it like, okay, how do we approach this? But it ended up being more of her influence coming through. Sure. Like, she's influenced all of us musically, right? So it's like, why not allow that musical influence that she's had on me and that impact to shine through, but using her inflections and nuances that we know are her signature things, and using her vocal approaches versus how I sing,
Sure.
But when it got emotional and different things like that, that's when it's like, okay, I need to cut through. So it's like a balance in a way of that. Yes.
Okay. With you had said something too that I picked up on, which was, this is really a story of the person with the greatest voice in the world, finding her voice. Obviously there's a huge religious influence. What more to it though was there for Aretha to find her voice?
Well, when I was meeting with the studio early on, that's the tagline that I pitched for the film. That I thought that's the movie we have to make, because I think people assume that if you have a brilliant voice like she did, if you have a gift like that you just show up on the scene and then you become a superstar. But to be an artist is more than just the business part. There is a personal journey that we all have to go on to become our best artistic selves. And she had a very complicated one, because her first few albums didn't sell. She wasn't being produced in a way that really showcased what she had to offer. She had men in her life that were, kind of holding her back. And so that was the journey of finding your own voice.
I loved Mary J. Blige in this movie, as well as Dinah Washington. What was it like? What were those scenes like with her? At that point in Aretha's life, she's kind of still hasn't come out or hasn't found her voice yet. And here's this personality.
It was like, what was the word for it? I don't know what to call it. I was like, wait a minute. So you have Mary J. Blige, Jennifer Hudson, portraying Dinah Washington and Aretha Franklin. What is that? I don't know what we would call that, but I thought it couldn't have been a better person to play that role than a Mary J. Blige. It kind of almost felt like it had double meaning in a way.
I kind of feel like I should get awards just for that casting.
That was genius.
I mean, also in the rehearsals in New York, when Jennifer and Mary J. and I were sitting around a table going over the scenes, that was some like truly magical times. And it was also really beautiful to hear them both talk about, coming up in the business and who mentored them and who, you know, guided them and which stars gave them some tough love. It was profound.
Because it made it even more authentic to her story, Aretha's story, by people playing out her story, are musicians too, who've had our own experiences, everything she just said. So we have our own version of that, you know what I mean? So it could not help but to come out in a real authentic way in portraying it, because we know how true it is. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. The movie title is everything I have for both of you. Respect.
Oh.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that you didn't know about that, and that I was able to bring that to you. That I really feel that this is a movie that Aretha wanted and wanted to represent her. So thank you guys so much.
Such a
Good
gift.
luck.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
That was amazing.
Wow.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jennifer Santilli.
All right.
I was like,
Take
do
care,
not
guys.
let me cry on this.
Thank you. I was looking for tissue, like tissue.
What do you think of young artists like Jordan Sparks?
I like her, and I like her a lot. She has a lot of class.
You were in a famous movie, Blues Brothers, in an awesome role. Why did you never pursue more movie roles and more of a movie career throughout your career?
It wasn't that I didn't pursue it, I just didn't get the calls that I had hoped for. I don't know if it was my agent or what, but I just didn't get the calls.
Is that right? Would you be more interested in getting more film roles even now in your life?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But my biopic is coming up. My script will be ready in about a week. And I'll give you a little sneak preview. It's going to open with my dad preaching at the pulpit. That's the way the movie's going to open.
Awesome.
Okay?
Amazing. That's amazing. It's an awesome honor to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you.